Hello and welcome to Let's Play Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. We're going to play the 0.5.2 edition. I've played the newest version to have come out, and there's quite a few changes in it, some of which may be reversed. So thought it best maybe to stick with the older version for now, and we'll go ahead and get started. Now we're gonna cheap out here and go ahead and play Mountain Dwarf, the most often called the strongest race in the game, and we're gonna play a fighter. Big surprise. And now a number of people seem to think that dwarves aren't any good at magic, or if they can use magic, well, it's mostly limited to, fire and earth magic, that sort of thing. No. You see, dwarves are actually among the best magicians in the entire world, and they practice a type of magic not commonly known to most people. It's a type of magic called axe magic, and it is a very powerful kind of magic. As you can see, we start with 2 ranks in our axe magic skill. It is quite powerful, and we'll get quite good at it if we go ahead and look at our aptitudes. We see we have quite a good aptitude in axe magic. You want this to be, aptitudes of course are better if they're lower, since they represent the percentage of experience you'll need to level up in that relative to how much a human would need. And as you can see, dwarves are quite good in axe magic, but we don't want to train axe magic too quickly, because axe magic, being a very powerful and destructive force, can quickly consume your soul, and sooner or later you'll be doing nothing but using axe magic, and you won't be able to advance any other skills. So we're going to shut axe magic off, as well as our use of shields. Now, in order to use axe magic, you first have to find an axe magic spell, and we start with one in our inventory. It's called a +0/+0 Dwarven Hand Axe spell. It's the most basic axe magic spell you can find, but it is quite powerful even now. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and use our axe magic, and I'll show you how to use axe magic. Oh, here we have found our first enemy. It's a kobold, and there's a rat further beyond. We'll use our axe magic on the kobold, and the way you do this is you simply walk in the direction of the kobold, and your mighty dwarf will use his axe magic spell against whatever enemy is standing there. And we have missed with our axe magic spell, unfortunately, but we continue to attack, keeping careful watch on our health to make sure we have not taken too much damage. If you take too much damage, run away. There is no honor or glory in recklessness. And with that, we are able to kill both the kobold and the rat. They were not able to withstand the power of our axe magic. The kobold was killed so thoroughly, as you can see, he did not even leave a corpse. That is incredible. That is the power of axe magic. I would like to see an elf with their fancy ice magic do the same. Unlikely. Anyway, here is a rat corpse. Rats are delicious, so we're going to go ahead and chop up that rat corpse for later eating. There's also a dagger here, but it's made by an orc, and we hate them, so we're going to leave it behind. And there's another rat. We'll kill him and chop up his corpse too. And another rat. This place seems to be infested with rats. No matter, they are rather easy to kill. Anyway, as you can see, we seem to be doing rather well to begin with. No gnolls. Gnolls are probably one of the most deadly enemies you can face at the beginning of the game. They have very dangerous weapons like spears, and more importantly, throwing nets that can hold you in place, because gnolls are cowards. Everyone knows this. They do not use axe magic. Well, sometimes they do, but only if they steal that magic from a more worthy opponent like a dwarf. Like us. Wow, there sure are a lot of enemies around here. Glad we're killing them all without much trouble. We found a bunch of scrolls too. That's a different kind of magic. That's more like elf magic. But even elves can be useful. Well, not really. More like if you take their stuff can be useful. Elves themselves are not of any use. At all. Do not play an elf. Don't ever do it. Please. Please. If you play an elf, the Shining One will cry. Yes, yes he will. He will also cry if you play the tiled version of this game. He will cry many tears, and you will be swept away by his glorious light. We are now level 3, and our experience leads to an increase in our attributes. Very good. You are a dwarf, therefore we pick strength. However, eventually we will want more intelligence, because if our intelligence is too low, we can be killed instantly by enemies who attack our intelligence. There are also cowardly enemies that do this. They are cowardly like gnolls, though gnolls do not have the power to do this ability. But yes, there are many cowardly enemies in this game, and you will have to watch out for them. One thing I noticed about this game early on was that I did not use the O key. What the O key does is it lets you automatically explore the dungeon level you are on. This is good for the early part of the game since it lets it go by faster without too much risk, but later on you will not want to do this because you will die. Yes, you will die very quickly. You will die. So don't do that, please. Now, some of you may not have played Crawl before. You may have played another roguelike. That roguelike is probably called NetHack. Yes, this is probably the roguelike you are familiar with. This is a very different roguelike. In Crawl, you are expected to have the game spoiled for you. What does this mean? Well, the monsters' powers and abilities are not meant to be a secret. Neither is anything else in the game. For that reason, if you go onto the official Crawl chat room that is found on the IRC network Freenode, on the chat room, #, Crawl, that's 2 £signs, you can find lots of information. There are 2 bots there. One is named Hansel and one is named Gretel. They both have lots of information to share, but you should share this information in private messages. You should not go onto the main channel and start asking them all sorts of questions, because that will annoy the other users, and they may kill you. They may. And also TSO will cry about this as well. Yes, the Shining One will cry if you do not speak to Hansel and Gretel in private message. So please do that for the Shining One. Please. Moving on, we are now in the second area of the dungeon, and we are now hungry, so we're going to eat part of the many corpses we have generated this far. We also found a robe. This is a very weak piece of armor. It is suitable only for spellcasters or elves. We are not an elf, as is plain by our full and luxurious beard. Therefore, we will not use it. Here's a snake. He can poison you. Snakes suck. They really do. As you can see, he has poisoned us. He's a bitch. I don't like him. So we're going to kill him with one of our elf darts. We would be using dwarf darts, but we haven't found any of those just yet. There's a hobgoblin. He's attacking us while we're poisoned. That makes him a coward. It's no big surprise. He's a G, just like a gnoll. That makes him a coward. Everything with a G is a coward, automatically. We have found a set of shiny ringmail. We could probably try that on, but it's not that important. You see, we have a nice set of fine dwarven scale mail to go with our dwarven hand axe spell. And I think at this point we can start identifying some of these scrolls. Those of you who have played NetHack probably are scared of scrolls and think, oh my goodness, I cannot possibly read the scroll, I will die. Well, no. This is not NetHack, this is Crawl. You can go ahead and read those scrolls, read them good. And if you get sent to your inventory, well, it's one of 3 scrolls. It is an Identify scroll, or an Enchant Weapon scroll. No, it is not an Enchant Weapon scroll, it is an Enchant Armor scroll, or it is a Scroll of Charging. So, it is one of these 3 scrolls. And we have a little magical ring there, so we're going to try to identify that. But nothing appeared to happen. So we know that the scroll was either a charge scroll or an enchant armor scroll. Let's keep going. Ah, as you read the scroll, it crumbles to dust, and you sense the presence of curses on your possessions. That was a detect curse scroll. Very useful. The next scroll. Ah, we feel slightly unstable. That wasn't a teleport scroll. We're going to disappear shortly and appear somewhere else. There's one last scroll we have, and it is probably an identify scroll. Let's see. Yes, the scroll of identified, an uncursed ring of life protection. We'll go ahead and put that on. We can check our resistances. We have no resistances except for 1 point of our life protection. In this edition, this gives us 33% resistance against draining attacks. That's quite useful, but we're going to need a lot more for that to matter. Anyway, that's all there is time for now, so I'll see you next time when we continue our amazing abilities in Axe Magic. See you then.